Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Redskins. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We've had spotty showers since about 7 a.m. here in D.C., and the radar indicates it's going to continue, but nothing to stop football from happening at FedEx Field. A few minutes ago, it sounded like the 4th of July on the National Mall as the hometown Redskins were introduced to this sold-out crowd. They are set to go as their guys will match up with their opponents. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They have certainly got it rolling of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And it's simple. The more you win in the regular season, the more likely you play at home in the postseason, and that can take you deep into January.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, they come in riding high. Just 1 loss in their last 7 games.
It's a very focused team, very disciplined. They've kept the penalties to a minimum, and they're winning football games.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by a guy who only became a starter relatively late in his career. It's the well-traveled veteran, Josh McCown.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive. That's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Throwing now is McCown. And right away, he lost the football. And the Redskins scoop it. And now he's got him at a great spot at the 8-yard line here, 1st and goal. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well.
And this is taken in for a Redskins touchdown. Antonio Brown with his 16th touchdown of the year as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed, aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
The Eagles offense making their way back out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. Nerve-wracking for the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
Quickly now, a look at the Eagles' offensive starters.
So let's all work together on this one because it's natural to just watch the football. I want all of us to watch the center of this offensive line, the center and the 2 guards. They've got to be able to control the point of attack, and they didn't do such a good job on that last play. Plenty of opportunities to redeem themselves. They'll have to take advantage of that and start to make progress.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
Ready? Check 26, check 26.
McCown now on first down. It's caught by Sanders. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A quick pass out to Aguilar. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Miles Sanders, the rookie second-rounder from Penn State. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Shotgun here for McCown. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Here's a look at the starters defensively for Washington. They played extremely well last week in that win over the Packers.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
On play action, it's McCown. Got his man, it's Arcega-Whiteside. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a 1st down. Heading to the line, McCown with a 1st and 10. And he's 5 for 6 now throwing the ball on this drive. Here's McCown, caught by the tight end Ertz. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Zach Ertz, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
Here we go.
Now Haskins on 1st down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Give the Redskins 13 there and a 1st down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Thompson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give the Redskins 13 there and a 1st down. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now. That's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
And he'll take this from one 47-yard line to the other. A gain of 6. A gain of 6 there on 1st. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Throwing again on 2nd down. Haskins going up top. This is caught inside the 15. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down and 4, Haskins. Haskins hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. So the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get out to the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
Let's go. 90 Wolf. Come to my work. We want it. Come to my work.
From midfield, here's McCown. And this is Ertz with it, right side. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Down. And 2 stop. Let's go. You tighten up. Let's go. You tighten up. 50 down.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And the throw on 2nd down by McCown falls incomplete. Just his 2nd incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
Aguilar has it. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. What a methodical drive this is turning out to be. That time 9 yards, and the sticks move again. McCown now 9 of 11 passing in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
The quick slant caught, and he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, his third touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one in SoCal. The Vikings and the Chargers from Dignity Health Sports Park. Coverage at 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 Pacific on EA Sports. First play of the drive is a run with Thompson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Haskins gets him up to the line as quick as he can. From the 29, Haskins toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. A little under 30 seconds to go. We'll see how they play it here on 1st and 10. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
McCown now on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. That's Ward. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. McCown, 13 of 15 passing. That's good for 87%. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun. McCown completes it to Aguilar. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one is right down the middle. And that'll push the lead up to 8. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So after the penalty, we'll have one final untimed play here before halftime. Here's Haskins. He's going deep for Brown. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish, as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll begin up in the Meadowlands, Miami in town to take on the New York Football Giants. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. The Giants trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. From there, we'll head down to Charlotte to check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they trail in that ball game to the visiting Seattle Seahawks. David Moore, a touchdown reception. Finally, let's get to the country music capital of the world and see what's happening with the Titans at home in Nashville. And this one going the visitors' way, as the Texans have the lead in that one. Deshaun Watson on fire. 3 touchdown passes. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And they'll indeed go for it with Haskins. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee you, he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
McCown throwing there, and it's incomplete. They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5. Now McCown. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, this is Howard. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? McCown looks to throw on 3rd. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Just held on to the football too long there, Charles. That's point blank, right?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. You've got to have that internal clock that goes in your head that says either get rid of the football or flush and go and use your legs and try and pick up the first down. I think he hung in there too long, and the blitz got to him.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
The drive starts with a completion left side. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You see me? You see me? They can't stop.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Haskins to throw it. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Josh McCown ready to head back out there. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your play? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep Keep it in the proper hands and give your team a chance to win.
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far.
18 Gator. Hey, D-Line, let's get in there. Let's get in there now.
On first down, McCown. Ertz has it left side. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, fourth quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Play action. Now McCown going for it all. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Fabian Moreau. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
A well-executed 22-yard gain.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now this one complete downfield on the left side. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A very solid gain of 27. Haskins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins. That's going to be caught. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Antonio Brown. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon as his guys are back within a single score. So here are the Redskins now, an important 2-point conversion. Haskins back to the air. And this is going to be intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case here, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down. Now McCown. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Shotgun snap and then the give to Sanders. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's McCown. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away. Trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Now Brown. Ooh, with a juke. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. So here's Haskins and the Redskins. Down 20-15, 2:23 to play. Their long win streak in great peril as they come up 1st and 10. A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a man open down the middle of the field. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Haskins now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. Haskins to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Fletcher Cox in there to drop him as that clock continues to run. Throwing now is Haskins. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. 54 yards. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. Here we go with Haskins. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow, wow.
Those are the types of plays in these moments they were hoping for from this young rookie, able to put him up here in the 4th quarter.
How about the kid? You just mentioned it, the 4th quarter. This is when you have to make those winning plays. That's what he just did. Doesn't ensure anything, but he certainly gave his team a heck of a chance, didn't he?
Now the Redskin offense will stay out there and go for 2. Now it's Haskins. Escaping the pressure right. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they make the decision. They want a 3-point lead versus a 2-point lead, and they got it.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it seems like the exact right thing to do. Put a little pressure on your defense, but the biggest thing now is you're making the other team chase you.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
So now it's the Eagles' turn, trailing by 3 after the touchdown and 2-point conversion. Exactly 1 minute remaining. He's back to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Back to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. He'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot.
And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
This time, the extra point up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, two-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. To throw is McCown. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be 2nd down. McCown incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Now McCown. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
One final try for McCown. Got his man. It's Arcega-Whiteside. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for the Redskins, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, it's loss number 5 for them on the year. And they'll try again next week at home against Philadelphia. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.